What's up, everyone? It's Matt Wasik here, CEO and founder of Landscape Marketing Pros, and I'd like to welcome you to our YouTube channel. So today I wanted to do a video for the guys that are at the very beginning stage of your company. Maybe it's your first year, you're heading into your first year, maybe you just completed your first year of business, you did 50, 100, maybe 120,000 bucks in revenue. If you're someone that's just kind of getting started, this video is going to be for you to help you get that next 100 grand or even $200,000 a year in revenue coming in. So that way you can get to a point where you can partner with us and we can help you get to that next level if you're trying to get to 300, 500, or even maybe $1 million a year in revenue. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, welcome into my computer. So we are going to be going over two assets, and actually maybe even like a third if you want to call it that you want to have for your company. And this is what's going to really help you when we do things the proper way, that are going to absolutely make the difference between getting 1 to 2, maybe 5 leads a month and potentially getting 15, 20, 30 with just basic strategies here. So again, we're going to be focusing 100% online things. We're not going to be doing postcards, door hangers, direct mail, any of that stuff, because in order to really get some good volume in terms of leads, you've got to be pushing out thousands upon thousands of dollars into that. And if you're someone that's year 1 or year 2, you just made your first 100 grand a year, you probably don't have the budget set aside to do so. And that's why you're watching this video, which is all right. Because with this information here in this video, you're gonna be able to have an abundance of leads so you can start increasing your sales, and then hopefully have a conversation with us and we can help you start scaling to the moon. But the very first thing that you are going to need is a website. And you're probably thinking, oh, I already know this. Why am I watching this video? Just wait, because when we get into the specifics here, you're going to probably realize some things that are going to completely shift your thought process on the website side of things. But the very first thing that we need is a website domain. So don't go out there to Wix or Squarespace or any of these other builders and get something from them. Go to GoDaddy. A lot of our clients are at GoDaddy because they worked with a previous agency that sucked, and then they came over to us, but their domain is already registered at GoDaddy. So we just put the website hosting, we transfer name servers. It's a very simple process, but basically there's that for a registrar. Or Namecheap. It's gonna be like 10 or 15 bucks a year, maybe 20 bucks a year for yourcompany.com. And so getting the domain is very critical, because the next step, what we need is a Google My Business listing. Now, I've done videos in the past here on the channel showing exactly how to set this up, what type of optimization you need to have on there. So I will link below that to the video. There'll be a card up on the screen for you to get that information to set all that stuff up. But we want a domain first before we get the Google My Business listing, because we want to add the website address to the listing immediately. So we're just going to do add site. So follow the instructions in the Google My Business ranking video that I did. I've done a couple of them, and basically make sure all your categories are optimized. Whichever category you want the most work in, make sure that's the primary category. So if you want more landscape install, make sure primary category is landscape. If you want more irrigation, make sure it's lawn sprinkler system contractor. If it is tree service, if it is lawn care, whatever it is, make sure that primary category is set up. Then set up the secondary categories as well. So then from there, we follow all the Google My Business listing protocol like I've shown in the previous video in terms of optimizing it. Make sure your name, your phone number, all that stuff is in there. A little bit of company history, status updates. It's similar to Facebook, where you can post a photo. You can also do calls to action in those status updates, and include the city name where you're working and where you're based and stuff, because that's going to help get additional presence. Make sure to include services as well. So you could put up a photo that is from a project from this season or something like that, and say, hey, here's a recent photo from a landscaping project we did in Minneapolis in June. Just an example right there. And we went in, we removed the old plants, the old mulch, the old edging, and we put in new rock, shrubs, and sod and graded and everything like that, or whatever was done. So just kind of describe things, and that's just one way to go about it. And then it's just going to help increase your presence a little bit more. Do that consistently, at least twice a month, ideally once a week. It only takes a few minutes to do these, and it can have a great impact on your presence. So now for the actual website, you're going to want to go and get some hosting. So we actually did a video a few years back, and things are a little different in terms of how they look visually. I mean, there's obviously going to be changes with software and stuff that are updated over the years, but that whole series of videos, I think it's like 6 or 7 videos, it's 100% free right here on our YouTube channel, has a very detailed instructions for how to get website hosting and all that sort of stuff. So you're going to want website hosting, and from there, you're going to want WordPress. Do not do Squarespace or Wix or any of these other ones, because you're going to be very limited on what you can do. And I mean, we get comments all the time, how do I rank my Wix website? And my answer to that is We don't know. We use WordPress because we can communicate the right things to the search engine, which leads me to the very next point right here. We're going to be building out some pages on the website, and we're going to communicate these right things to the search engine that's going to allow us to be able to rank. And so here's a great example of that. So we have Landscaping, Rogers, Minnesota. It's a suburb of the Minneapolis, Twin Cities metro area. And so our client is Northwood Outdoor Services. If I actually go to their website, we'll pull that up here in just a second, but you can see we've communicated, and I covered this in a previous video, to what the service is in the location that the company is based. And so the reason that this is so incredibly important is, of course, we want to rank for this keyword, like Landscaping, Rogers, Minnesota. And again, this is not an overnight easy thing. This took some advanced SEO that it would take me way too long to explain in just one YouTube video. But what we do with some of these other pages that I'll get into here in just a moment, some of these other services, you can build these pages and have some first page presence and get some more jobs coming in without having to know advanced off-page SEO. And so the reason though that we're covering location is because people do go and they'll type in landscape services, best landscapers near me, landscapers near me, commercial landscaping, residential landscaping, yard drainage, yard leveling, mulch and slip. We have so much click data that just shows all the different varieties that people will type into the search bar, and Google will ping off the location of that searcher match in front of them on the first page of the search results. So when somebody in the city of Rogers, Minnesota, because Google will go off their IP location of their computer or the location on their phone, we have a very good shot of showing up there because we have everything optimized for the city of Rogers with landscaping for our client Northwood Outdoor Services. So where this can come into play and be advantageous to your business if you're just getting started is with you build out the website and take the time, watch that course. It's going to take some work. But right now, as I film this, we're heading into Thanksgiving right now, and it'll be basically winter here in the northern half of the country, even down south. The weather will be cooler and things will be slowing down a little bit till about March or April, and that's when things will really ramp up. Maybe even like February if you're really down south like Florida, Georgia, and so forth. But take the time right now if you're watching this, and even if you're 8 months from now and you're watching this in September or something like that, this is still the best time to get an online presence established is still yesterday. So just don't worry if you're a little late to the party or whatever and it's April or something. You just getting this on and getting it built is going to help you regardless of the time of year. But if you're doing this and you have the time, especially if you're just a new contractor just getting started, take a few days or a week to go through our course that we have here on the channel. Watch that and put it into play. Here's another great example of this working. And again, this does not usually require any advanced SEO. Now, if you are in a big city, that's where you're based. You're in Minneapolis, you're in Boston or Nashville or something major city, it's going to be very difficult, even for these sub services that fall underneath the main category. So we have like landscaping, tree service, lawn care, for example, and you have your sub services underneath. And that's basically what we're referring to, building out a page for each one of these sub services that is going to, of course, help us rank. Come over here to the search for Paver Patios, Rogers, Minnesota. We have their Google My Business listing in the number 2 spot, and then their page, their website, in the number 3 spot. And there's been no advanced SEO done to this page either. The likelihood of showing up for some of these search results and getting the opportunity to have leads coming in is absolutely there, because I'll tell you this much. Northwood Outdoor Services this year alone went from $130,000 last year in 2020 to about $270,000 in revenue so far here in 2021. So basically doubled and then some their company size. And he was a smaller contractor. I think him and 1 or 2 other guys that work for him currently. And we're looking forward to really helping him continue to scale as well as all other clients as well. So I really can't stress how important this is to have these pages, because again, it will communicate the right things to the search engine if you optimize it for your city where you are based. So even if you are in a major city, Boston, Nashville, whatever, still optimize this. Or if you want work in some of the other suburbs where on the outskirts of Nashville or wherever you are, include those in the page title. Like we have here, I mean, we don't have it for Northwood because we wanted to focus solely on Rogers, but Paver Patios, Walkways, and Driveways, Rogers, Minnesota. You could also put a comma in there and say, let's see, for Rogers to be like St. Michael, Albertville, and so forth. But we have city pages that we have built for that, so we don't do that with these service pages. But for you, if you're just trying to get the ball rolling, get something established, then this is definitely the best route to take. This isn't going to cost you anything. You're just going to have to be resourceful and know how to put the right text into the right spot. And check out the previous videos and the ones that we've linked to. It'll show you exactly how to do this. When we look at the upside here, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just one of many examples of our clients that have been able to do this with us creating these pages to allow them to pull in visitors and convert those visitors into calls or contact form submissions. So just kind of explain out the web here that we have for the website. So we have our homepage that's all about landscaping in the main city, or if you're a lawn care company, lawn care in the main city. Now, if you do multiple, like these guys do, we will build out a page for each one. So typically we would have like the lawn care and mowing page. Actually, we'll go over to another client site here who has a page that's all about lawn care and mowing. And so we have the homepage all about landscaping, and then we have another page all about lawn care, and that's how we structured that. So what we would do is we build out the homepage, then we have our service pages, we have about us, we have contact us, testimonials, gallery, and so forth. And then we have our service pages. And so let's just say we're gonna go branch category here. So we'd have landscaping, snow, tree, for example. And so underneath these pages right here, and if we come over here, by the way, to the landscape page, we don't optimize this one. This is literally just a list of services. This is where most companies will stop. They'll just do this, and then that'll be it. We provide the following services. They have a list, and then that kind of stops right there. This is where we actually have a link to that specific page that we've built. So the boulder wall and retaining wall page, and it links over to that. But this one is not optimized for anything. It just is purely for navigational aspects for Google's bots to crawl, and maybe a person that's coming to the website if they happen to land on that page. And so we do the same thing. Usually for snow, we'll leave it all at one page, snow and ice removal. But for tree service, you could do one for tree trimming, tree removal, and stump grinding if you offer those. And then for the landscape side, we have paver patios, we have retaining walls, mulch, rock edging, and then drainage, grading, and so forth. Having these pages in place will make it easier for people coming to your website to learn about your services. They're going to be more apt to want to reach out because you actually inform them on the services and what kind of process that you do, what type of product you offer, if you want to get specific on like the hardscape material and so forth. And then of course you get the added bonus of it showing up for searches such as tree planting or planting shrubs or retaining walls, drainage contractor, so many different searches out there that you can have presence and be able to get leads coming in. And if you do this properly, put in the work and the time and the focus and the energy over, let's say, over a 2-week time span to kind of dial this in. If you're someone that's just getting started and you don't have the budget to work with a company like us, you will be in a position very shortly, within 6 months or a year, to be able to then afford our services where you can partner with us and really start helping you scale and start getting you presence in those more competitive search results. So in my opinion, that is the absolute best way to add an additional $150,000 a year in revenue. It's simply just communicating the right things to the search results, making sure you have pages for each one of those services, making sure you have a Google My Business listing that includes all of your services. The cool thing that you'll see once you have the website built and you have all these other pages that we talked about down here, the Google My Business listing is going to propagate those on your behalf, and you'll log in maybe a month later after the site's built and Google kind of recognizes it, and it's going to say, hey, we had a bunch of changes, please check them out, and it'll say accept all for this location. And if you scroll down, you'll see a bunch of different services. You'll see drainage, you'll see mulch, you'll see grading, patios, retaining walls, all this sort of stuff underneath each one of the service categories that you've selected, and that's only going to help your presence that much more. And an example of this is you'll see where it says provides the service right there. That's where that kind of comes into play. And that's where Google kind of goes to bat for us in getting our presence out there because we built a page that's all about paver patio. So if you like this video, be sure to go down below, drop a like, and also hit that subscribe button down below. Click the bell for notifications as well so you know when all the newest content comes live here on the channel. If you have questions on anything I covered here in this video, comment down below. And if there's anything else you'd like to see us cover here on the channel, be sure to comment that as well. Also, if you're doing a minimum of $150,000 a year, ideally $200,000 or more, and you're looking to systematically scale your business to the next level and hit your goals for whatever they may be, I encourage you to go down below, hit the very first link in the description, watch our free demo video. It's going to kind of give you a full overview on our entire system. You can check out the results, the testimonials, and also have an opportunity to schedule a strategy session. And that's going to be all at the first link in the description. But again, that's only for companies doing minimum of 150 grand a year. And if you're doing underneath that, take this information that we presented here in this video, put it to work in your business and get the foundation built. And that way we can then have a conversation maybe 6, 9, or 12 months from now, or even less, hopefully. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hit the first link in the description if you'd like more information on our service programs that we provide our clients. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.